Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday Morning Legion live stream. Glad to see everybody who is active with us right now, live in the chat. Say hello if you're there. Ash here with Moontag is up there.
Hello, and we also have
Paimon's in the house. Gonna have some artwork today, and Saib is also here. Now, I'm going to well, of course, a lot of people aren't going to hear this because people are still filing into the live stream. But Saib's and Moon's audios might sound a little garbled today because it's blasted hot here. So they've got fans running that are being. The noise of the fans are being canceled out by Discord's automatic noise cancellation. But it might cause a little bit of audio garbling. So we'll just bear with it so that they don't overheat and die, because that would be not a fun way to end the stream.
No more than normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I'm serious. Like, this was the same fan that I had on last week. So
yeah, well, anyway, just letting you know that. Anyway, so there's not a hell of a lot going on as far as news. Yes, blame Niv for the heat. Yes, exactly.
it's Niv's fault.
That's been the joke on the Discord server.
Running
Massive heat wave in the northwestern U.S. and in parts of Canada as well, and it's Niv's fault. So
it's insanely hot. Yeah, like in a lot of places, it's insanely hot, and it's only gonna get worse.
Funky
I'm half expecting brownouts at some point.
You want to read that message from Funky? Or
yeah,
hey
Funky. It says, I always said Moon should upgrade Saib to liquid cooling.
Oh, that sounds dirty. Yeah, I made that exact joke earlier. Ali says, you look like an anime character.
Yay! I'm totally trying to pull like some Faye Valentine vibes, you know, purple hair, yellow top.
Mm-hmm. And then Sword Sister says, I think the asphalt. Asphalt? Is it asphalt or asphalt? I always said asphalt, but I'm not sure if that's correct. The asphalt is melting right in front of my door. You're in
oh no! Wow.
Europe, Germany, Sword Sister, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So it's pretty hot over there too. Well, we'll all get through this together. So today I'm going to be running through a nice, cool dungeon, trying to avoid other forms of death. This is Phantom Abyss. I told you guys about this game. This is the one of very few that actually looked interesting to me from E3. This is from publisher is Devolver Digital, and the developer, I can't remember the developer's name. I'll find it. But anyway, it's in early access right now, so it's not a full release. But I decided to pick it up and check it out because it looked really intriguing, and I'll tell you guys more about it as I go. But that's there's not a ton going on in news to discuss. EA is buying Playdemic, which is a company that made Golf Clash, mobile game Golf Clash. That was posted on our Discord server. Not sure how much there is to talk about. Yeah, it's on Steam, Funky. It's in early access right now. I want to emphasize that. Early access. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but it is early access, so just be aware of that. So, as a matter of fact, you can see a developer notice right over here. Developer update, top priority is a disconnection bug being reported. Thanks for playing. So, yeah. And then, what was the other? Oh, yeah. So, Saib, the Microsoft thing. That was really, really awesome, actually.
Yeah, so this is something that Trauma brought to our attention. I heard about them doing this, but I hadn't heard anything official. Not that I was looking, because the official announcement was like a couple days ago. But yeah, your existing Xbox hardware, I don't know how many of those it includes. Obviously, the previous generation, like the most recent previous generation.
The Xbox One, at least.
Yeah. But they will be you can utilize them to play new gen games via the cloud if you've gotten that thing, or if you're signed up for that service. So that is really cool, because I know there's a lot of people who prefer the older control design schematics, like the they have older controls and whatnot that they prefer, that they're hooked up to their current Xbox. I don't know how many of those are I would assume that most of them are fairly easy to to put over into the other machine. But it's like, yeah, now all your old stuff still works
That's
and
right.
still has a purpose.
That's amazing that Microsoft would do that.
That's pretty awesome.
Can you imagine Sony doing that? I can't, because they won't. They would never. Would
Right.
never.
Mhm.
Not saying that Microsoft is like some saint of a company or anything, but I mean they
It's a
are.
step in the right direction.
They're
Yeah,
doing a lot of
and
good
in
things.
and in some other saintly news, just the real kindness from the bottom of the hearts of these mega corporations. Facebook will now start putting ads in Oculus Quest. So you will just have ads come at you while you're playing your Oculus. You just have a giant ad that you can't skip, that you can't get away from. It's just going to surround you and inform you about their product with their love.
Yeah.
And they're just going to make you see it, and there may or may not be some brainwashing technology going on there. I mean, I didn't say it. I mean, I just heard it from somebody. It's completely, obviously a far out there speculation and may not necessarily be true in any way, shape, or form. But yes, yes, you will have to deal with ads bombarding you in the face on Oculus.
While you're just
By
trying to,
Facebook.
while you're trying to play your Oculus Rift, playing a game that you purchased on a system that you purchased, they're gonna bombard you with ads.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It's like, didn't I already give you guys my money?
Facebook's a garbage. Do we still do anything with our Facebook page? I would.
So that was the good news and then the bad news. So how about some good news, bad news now?
Okay.
So good news, bad news is Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to PC. Not officially announced, but it has been discovered that it's in a store and it's there and it may be coming. And this is awesome news. Everybody loves this. Bad news is that would be Epic Game Store.
Oh,
Of course.
God.
Yeah, of course, right?
Why? I was so excited right up until you said that.
So, yeah.
Why?
And in yet other news, apparently some people haven't gotten the memo and still believe that being bought out by Electronic Arts is a good thing. So yeah,
Are you talking about the Playdemic thing now?
yeah. Playdemic is now is apparently has struck a deal with AT&T to acquire its Playdemic thing for $1.4 billion. Apparently, Warner Bros. Is suffering for cash, or they just hate gamers. One of those two things, because I can't imagine in any world you would want to actively do that. So yeah, congratulations for them and their stupidity.
Yeah.
By stupidity, I mean, obviously.
Well, quick whip or long whip? Help me out, guys. Quick whip or obviously we want the long whip. All right, just gonna pause here between sections. Turn the game sound
Also, there's a
down.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was pretty quiet because I can barely hear it over top of Cybe. I can do that. Let's try that. Let's see here. You can play Control with RTX on the Switch with the Nintendo streaming service. Interesting. Yeah, I saw you talking about that earlier on the Discord server earlier this week, and I did not know that they had a streaming service. Bizarre. Can we do Steam Summer Sale recommendations? Well, I haven't really looked through them much. I don't know, Sab, do you want to go through some of the summer sale stuff while we're live here and see what's there?
Sure. I mean, so yeah, we were kind of talking about it in the Discord a little bit. There is a bunch of stuff on sale right now. One thing that I noticed, and I was really tempted to get it and have us play it today. I still am, and so let me know your thoughts, everybody. I don't know how many people remember us playing this. We played this quite a bit a couple of years ago, but it's called For the King. They have a
Yeah.
new pack out, or a new expansion out it's called an adventure pack, and it includes, or it's called the Lost Civilization.
Interesting.
And so it's very like Aztec-y ish, I would say, like very, very Aztec-y. Comes with some amazing like new weapons, upgrades, that kind of stuff. Seems quite cool. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You can pick up the entire pack for the King for about $10. The art style, I don't know, what would you call that art style? It's like a
It's
like a Minecraft on like
it's
several levels higher.
yeah,
basically.
it's very polygonal. Like it's very simple character models. Very polygonal. Is that a word?
It is
So
now.
It's like a retro. It's kind of a retro style of 3D,
Mhm.
but it's like like an intentional art style. Like you know how some things just kind of
Yeah.
cartoony, some things try to look more realistic. It's cartoony, but also very, very angular and blocky, like character models that aren't entirely finished, but they are. If that makes sense. Anyway, it looks cool. Oh, missed my jump.
Yeah, the game was, I mean, I really enjoyed that game for the most part. Like, it was honestly pretty cool. It's very strategic, and it's very like unforgiving. It's like you make a mistake, and then you pay, and then you finish a room and everybody's almost dead, and you're like, oh man, we've only got 3 healing potions left. What do we do? Actually, it's herbs. It's like, I don't know, but I mean, well, the next mission, if it's a mimic or an ogre or something like that, we're screwed. So we probably need to do, we probably need to use our herbs. So it's like, okay, all right, let's use the herbs. So you use the herbs, everybody gets up to like 70-80% health, and things are looking pretty dire, and you're like, oh man, this sucks. And then the next room, there's a healing fountain there, and everybody gets healed up. And then the next mission is an ogre, and he wrecks you, and then you have no healing left to take on the boss. So it's
Yeah,
brutal. It's hilarious. Brutal,
like this game that I'm currently playing. It is procedurally generated. Is it right? Am I mistaken there?
It's each level, like, so the overworld is not, but the encounters, the placement of buffs, the placement of like items, treasures, dungeons, that's all like randomized all the time. So it's like an old school RPG.
Yeah.
Where you basically enter in, and it's kind of like a turn-based thing where but you go room by room, right? And it's not like you fight way more things and that kind of stuff. So
Right. Yeah. And
so
it's turn-based combat. Sort of classic RPG.
mhm.
Each player gets a turn to do a move. Kind of. Yeah, it was a fun game. Like I enjoyed
Mhm.
playing it. And you can play a multiplayer too. Like each person controls a particular character. By the way, I'm playing terribly right now, so if you're wondering, the objective of this game is to get to the end and get the relic. But it's got some son of a, and I just lost. At least it's a little bit forgiving. I just fell down a bottomless abyss, but it puts me back at the beginning of the room, and I only lose 1 heart. But
As far as notable things on sale right now, Mass Effect Legendary Edition is on sale right now. It's not much. I think it's only like 15% or something like that.
where did we come down on that one? As far as
17%?
whether or not it's worth the purchase?
It's great if you have never played the game before. Like, if you have never played the game before, it's great. But as far as like, and if you are really big into the modding scene, that's the other thing. If you're really big into the modding scene, it's actually quite good as well. But if you paid for this recently, like, why buy it again? I mean, it's just the same stuff. In fact, there's less content on this than on my Origin account, because on Origin I have everything on.
Yeah,
and
they
and
one or
they
two of the
couldn't do one of the
DLCs.
DLCs. Yeah, and all of their multiplayer DLC isn't on there either because there's no multiplayer in the game at all.
That
You know,
sucks.
because EA just totally cheaped out. Like, pathetic. Like, it's legitimately pathetic. I don't.
Yeah, they could have recreated that DLC if they wanted to. If they actually wanted to add true value, they could have recreated that DLC. It's not like it would have been an impossible task. It's not
No,
like
it just would have been, it just would have been a couple months of hard work, and I don't think they know the meaning of the word.
well, it suggests that yes, it was just a cash grab. Is what it suggests.
Yeah, I mean, basically number 2 and 3, there
of
was no
course-
major improvements given to 2 and 3. It was simply just like, here's a little bit higher of a graphical fidelity thing. Boom, there you go, yay! And it's like,
but
geez.
they made sure the cameras couldn't see any butts.
Yeah, they also did that. They went out of their way to like heavily restrict your game experience.
Which I'll be honest, like there were in the originals some of the butt shots did seem a little bit gratuitous. Like it's like, okay, I guess deliberately going for sex appeal, I guess, and like there's no point in pretending otherwise. But yeah, why change that when that's just part of the game? And really, I don't see what's wrong with that. I mean, it's obviously gratuitous, but did that guy come with me through? So, if you're not familiar with the premise of this game, these phantoms, these are previous players who attempted this dungeon. And
Is this the one where once you've done it,
Yeah.
it completely like seals up, and nobody can play that dungeon again?
so there's a
That's so dumb.
well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they add as they carry on. Maybe they'll add the ability to replay dungeons. But yeah, currently, so each procedurally generated dungeon can be beaten exactly once, and you get one chance to try and beat it.
That is also dumb.
Well, it adds an interesting element to it, right? It adds, because what happens then is... Oh, yes, I have Long Whip. I forgot. It really... It prevents you from being able to just memorize the dungeon and then blast through it. You have to react on the fly, kind of thing. So there's a strategic element to it. Plus, what happens is if you die... then your phantom gets captured, and your phantom is then visible for other people who play the dungeon. Plus, you lose your... Now, this is cool. So I have a whip that... So you get different whips that have different bonuses and blessings. This thing, this is a bolt shooter that would normally be targeting me and trying to shoot me. But my whip has a particular blessing that makes these things turn away from me and refuse to shoot me. So that's going to make this part of the dungeon way easier. But each whip also comes with a curse, too. This one makes purchasing blessings, which are just like little buffs you get at statues, makes them more expensive. So I've really got to try and rack up I've got to collect a lot of treasure here. But what happens is if I die here, if I don't get the relic and I die, I've lost this whip until somebody else completes this dungeon. Then it gets released back to me. So there's a lot of interesting elements like that that I kind of like. I kind of like the that I get one shot at this, and if I fail, and I've failed. But I mean, I could see where some people wouldn't like that. Some people might want to do a dungeon multiple times. Again, it's early access. I have a feeling like this is the type of game where they could add a whole bunch of different modes, and I also forgot I had double jump. They could add a whole bunch of different modes, a whole bunch of different styles of gameplay. So, and I hope they do. And I mean, it's Devolver, right? So I feel like, see again, this room would be a nightmare. This whip feels so OP right now. Normally, this room would be a nightmare to get through, and I'm just kind of walking through it. So anyway. Do. That's the guardian. So there's different guardians in each temple. And also the way it works is there's kind of 3 phases. Like, so I go through the first temple. There's a relic at the end, and I have a choice. I can go for the relic, or I can move on to the caverns and get a better relic, and then do more of these rooms and get a better relic. And then once I get to the end of the caverns, I can either go for that relic, or I can move on to the Inferno. Now, I've gotten as far as, I think, the second stage of the Inferno is the farthest I've gotten before biting the dust horribly, because it gets really, really difficult. Yeah, Doggy's here. Funky says, the character's persona justifies the sex appeal. Yeah, and I mean, in that, I think there are certain cases where I think that's a justified artistic choice. Let's put it that way. Butt shots don't appeal to me personally, but yeah, justified artistic choice, and I think it's the reason. I think it's the reasoning that they removed it that bothers me. I think it just has to do with our modern hyper puritanistic, omnipotent moral busybodies that we talked about on the podcast on Tuesday. That
it's the you will do as you're told. Don't you realize that's unacceptable in my presence? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
It's like, yeah. I mean, I despise farting because it's disgusting, and I hate it when people do it in front of me. It doesn't mean I want to like restrict a person's freedom or castigate them or have them shamed in front of marching them down the street, shame. It's like, I don't want to do that, but it's frightening that there's some people who do. It's frightening that some people want to target somebody based off of what they enjoy and just literally string them up in front of a crowd and have them destroyed mentally, physically, spiritually, just like, and there's people who take pleasure in that. And it's like, this isn't the first time in human history that this has happened. And normally when this happens, very bad things tend to follow. So I'm extremely I want to stay as far away from this as I possibly can, as far as sure. This. And it's also the fact that they're always hypocrites. They're always hypocrites.
For sure. 1 second on that side. So Moon, what's going on? Funky mentioned that the artwork was blank.
Program issues.
Programming? Okay, so you're working on it?
Yeah, I have it right now. Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, because all I see is kind of a
blank,
half blank screen, and your mouse is moving around. So, okay, we'll get the artwork up as soon as we can there. Let's go back to David McKedden. Hi, I'm new here. Hey, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you.
Hello.
We are playing games and talking about games and drawing gaming-inspired artwork. Oh, I should hide your...
There we go. I got
it's there. It's back now. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see what you're working on here. This brand new today?
Yeah.
Looks kind of similar.
I just started this.
Oh, yeah. Some kind of a cat girl.
No.
I don't know. I just saw the ears. I don't know. Okay, tell us what you're working on.
It's Paimon.
Oh, it is Paimon. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Arturo, good morning, everybody. Moontag, Sab, and Ash, how are you doing? Doing really good.
Mm-hmm.
Doing really good.
Okay.
Ministry of Truth, Revision History. Better not make it too sexy or EA will cancel us. Okay.
Oh, no, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Have your personal taste. If you don't like butt shots in a game, fine. But, let's not... When you're changing something that was already done. Like, I have an issue with that. Like, these are games that came out years and years ago. You're not just doing a remake or a remaster at that point. You're changing it. You're trying to make it different because you think people these days shouldn't see that. Which is, you know, whatever. Oh, son of a gun. I just got sliced really badly. Alright, anything else on the Steam sale that looks interesting? Oh, did Sybe step away? He might have. Yeah, it's a perversion of the original material, I agree. It's like if you read Huck Finn now and they take out certain inappropriate words, like,
It loses all context.
yeah, you lose, like, it's literally, it's an anti-slavery, anti-racist message in the book. But we want to, like, water it down and censor it and not let kids know, yeah, things used to be like
People
this.
just
and
can't handle it.
yeah, like, things used to be like this. Let's not do this shit anymore. Let's make the world better. But oh, thank you for the double jump. Double jump just saved my ass from getting very unconsensually penetrated by those spikes. What am I even saying? Shut up, Ash.
Family friendly, remember?
Yeah, right. Well, not exactly. I just try not to be too crude, but like, yeah, there are times when I'm like, I start talking and it's like, well, I've got to finish this sentence now. That was surprisingly easy. I'm having a surprisingly easy go of this particular. Reduce Guardian's anger by 1 and prevent them from angering next floor. Oh, I'm going to take that blessing. So you buy these blessings. These statues appear between areas that give you little buffs or, you know, debuff the Guardian and the, you know, the hazards kind of a thing. Making the world a better place can only be done if we acknowledge past mistakes. Erasing them would be the opposite of evolution. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, agreed.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Other Side is on sale.
Other Side.
Yeah, this is a game that I was interested in when it first like kind of got teased, but was just one of the things that I ended up getting missed. And it's a very gritty, like 3 color toned turn-based strategy game, team based. So it's very interesting, not multiplayer. So yeah. But it's a very interesting, very beautiful game. It's black and white with the exception of red for like blood. So it's like it's one of those.
This is very precarious. So I touched that blade while it wasn't even moving. Because if I whip these, I can stop them. The small ones. I just touched the one. Please give me a big heal here. Oh, I don't even have enough to get a blessing. So here's where I have the decision to make. I can either go and get the relic, or I can move on to the Inferno. And with 1 heart, I think I'm going to go for the relic. And that's even going to be a crapshoot. Because I've got to do 4 sort of mini, sort of side branches, and then I've got to go get the relic itself. So I've got to be very careful here. Whoa. But if I get the relic, this whip will be blessed, and then I'll be able to use it, like, it removes the negative aspect of the whip. So Okay, that was close. Whew. Do. This guy's a big jerk. Blasting me with his eyeball heat ray. It's like, come on, man. I'm only trying to steal your ancient relic. I love this whip so much. These things don't shoot at me. Normally, like you're like, and they telegraph their attacks. They have like a red targeting line that shows you where they're gonna shoot, but still, it's if you're not moving, especially the closer you are to them, it's really hard to avoid their shots, and especially when you're trying to dodge the Guardian and all kinds of other hazards. Alright. Just want to check out some live chat here. Funky is wondering if you can put links in the chat when you talk about the game, Saib.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Funky, I have a problem with you buying a blessing. I'm reporting you. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Sword Sister says, Other Side is an interesting one. It's a rune-based strategy, and the visuals are great. It's short, but the soundtrack is also decent if you're into goth rock style.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a. You can also buy the soundtrack if you want. So, you know, I'm so tempted to pick this up, like literally right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the stuff. Haven is on sale, 30% off. If you haven't played it before, it's a very pretty game that I haven't played it yet. I played the demo, and it was really sweet. And it's like so the tags on it are adventure, story rich, romance, RPG, and you can actually play it with two people. And so it's obviously it's designed for couples to play.
Okay.
And even there's a little bit of like light romantic PDAs in the game as well. So there's some of that
Can
going on.
we make sandwiches? Is that what you're
Is
saying?
it one
No,
of,
you don't get to make
one of
sandwiches, but you get to
those
see the prep work for it. I guess.
Oh,
the prep work? Is that's what we call it now?
Yeah. Well, not the sandwich making, just just getting things ready. Like, get the bread out, put the bread on the table, and the cheese, and then selecting your meat, and then you're like,
Yeah. We get it. Actually, I wasn't expecting you to actually stop. I was curious how far you'd actually take that metaphor.
I was going to go on about the mustard and the mayo, and then how some people like mustard, but some other people really like mayo.
Oh my god!
But I didn't actually have anything going off of that. I was just going to leave that mostly to up to everybody's imagination.
My
Horizon Zero Dawn is 40% off if you're interested in picking that up too.
oh,
So yeah, and
that's
then
interesting. Check that one out. Yeah, it's one I haven't played yet.
Sekiro is also 50% off if you're interested in Sekiro. Then
Sekiro's a really
yeah.
good game. I just got crushed by a ceiling I didn't see coming.
Yeah, I saw
Son
that
of
out
a
of the
bitch.
corner of my eye.
Damn it! Okay.
And I would have gotten out of that. I would have rolled to the left.
So yeah,
Jumped out of the building, rolled to the left. Totally would have made it.
Arturo, I'm not playing on easy mode. I have that was a surprisingly easy set of dungeons. I did also have a whip that deactivates the this whip here. This one's really it deactivates the dart statues. Now I can reclaim that whip for three of my epic keys or something. But anyway, I'm gonna try and see. This is another one that I lost in another dungeon, and as soon as some other player defeats the dungeon I lost those whips in, I get them back. But for the time being, I don't have them. So I'm gonna try again. The one I really like is, oh yes, the Bone Whip. Where's Lady Reaver when you need her, eh?
Right.
Got myself a Bone Whip here.
It's great.
And there's all kinds of other ones, as you can see. Like, all these pedestals, I'm guessing, are gonna have a whip. But anyway.
Continuing our dive into turn-based strategy games, here's yet another one, Wasteland 3, 50% off. And I did not know this, and this might have changed my opinion when I went to, because I didn't actually pick up the game when I wanted to. I was a little disappointed in some of the direction that they were taking it, and I also really don't like the cold. Like, this takes place all basically on a frozen map. That's where the entirety of the story takes place, and I don't know if you know, but I really don't like, spending any time more in winter, non-Christmas winter, than I have to. And yeah, non-Christmas
I don't
winter
think
is...
I would really enjoy running through a trap-infested dungeon like this, but that's not why we don't play video games to... I'm just messing with you. Yeah, so you don't like it because it's set in the cold, eh?
I mean, it turns me off about the game, right? Like, it's not actually like, oh, you blasted you, I hate you. It's more like, I can do other stuff. I can do other stuff. But no, it's multiplayer. I did not know it has a co-op feature. So,
oh, interesting.
yeah, did not realize.
So there's no phantoms here because no one else has done this dungeon before. Ah, I don't have. I can't get the. Oh, I can maybe get up on here. So is anyone else in the community playing this game? Arturo, are you playing it? You seem a little familiar with it. So if anyone is, and we could set up something where we like try and rescue each other's souls from dungeons if we fail. Because that's the other thing. Like, if I fail on this dungeon, then I can post a code to my friend and be like, "Hey, try this dungeon that I just failed. Release my loot.
Save my loot.
Save my loot, man." Wasteland 3. Now, the first... You really liked the earlier games in Wasteland, didn't you?
Well, they were the precursor to what would later become Fallout. I did not like the first one. Was like, it was very cool, and I really liked the concept of it. And I was very tempted to kind of dig into it. But later on, I discovered that I do not actually like that kind of like frontal. It's like a dungeon crawler UI, so it's the dungeon crawler UI basically, and I don't actually enjoy that. I enjoyed that when I was a kid, because that was basically the only dungeon type game that you could play at the time that was like a deep RPG. But no, me not likes it as a general option of what's available now. So I don't replay the old games. I still replay Fallout 1, Fallout 2. But I don't replay Wasteland 1. Now, Wasteland 2 and 3 are isometric, so that's much, much, much better, and it has a lot more interest to it, right? So there's that. But yeah, it it is more or less a precursor to it. It plays more like Fallout Tactics than it does a regular Fallout type game. Which is good. I mean, there's definitely synergy there in that. But yeah, other than that, it's the world is not as fleshed out as the Fallout universe is, and most of that, of course, boils down to the fact that Fallout actually did a Fallout lore Bible, and they stuck with it up until the last couple, the last game, basically. And even then, they were still more or less sticking with it. They just started to move away from it and make it more action-y and less actual hardcore roleplay, RPG, stats, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Things like that used to matter, but they don't matter in an FPS. and I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that Starfield brings a lot of those mechanics back, that they're very, very popular, and that they then export that into their following, Fallout 5 and Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6. Because I really despise the lack of RPG mechanics. Like, I want a luck stat. I really do. I want a luck stat. I want, endurance, dexterity, agility, strength. Like, I want to define my character. I really like the tags that you could do in Fallout 1 and 2. I really like the perks and then the anti-perks too, the traits that you got to pick in Fallout 1 and 2. Especially 2. Like, the 2 was very fleshed out. And I think 2 is a very good example of that, because you can design your character how you want them to be, and that's so cool. And your stats aren't like, your stats aren't just like, oh yeah, I can put that there. I mean, stat gain, your character is that's that's a deep core thing. I hate games like, everybody's talking about Final Fantasy right now, the MMO, and I don't like that game because stats and your job and your character class mean nothing. Literally means nothing. You can change them on the fly. Like, you're like, oh, hey, I could be a guardian. Now I can switch to a ranger. Now I can switch to a bard. It's like, I hate that. If you can't run 5 miles because you're, not built that way, and then you're like, oh, let me just respec here. I'm gonna pull all my stat points out of this and this and this, charisma. Don't need charisma, don't need perception. Just gonna do a max stat, endurance, max stat. That it's like, I hate that. I hate that. I want to have meaningful choices in the things that I pick, and then I want them to be balanced. Not perfectly, but balanced to the point where everybody plays what they want to play. Everybody wants to play what they want to play, what is cool to them, what is engaging to them. That's why I love tabletop so much, because it's like sure, there's people who min-max in there, but that's not where that's not the funnest times that you have in the game. The funnest times that you have in the game is when you pass by the skin of your teeth, right? Like, just like barely make it. That's the most fun, right? Like all my favorite gaming moments is where I've succeeded against all other, stuff. Like, it's just that is what makes it fun for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. And when you don't know, like, you can't, just sort of optimize for every individual situation. Reminds me of Resident Evil, where it's like, you're in the middle of a boss fight, it's like, oh, shoot! Oh, okay, saved it. Good grief. Where am I going? Uh-oh. This guy's getting a little uncomfortably close. Yeesh. Okay, I almost got eaten. Better put some distance here. Going for the chests is just so tempting, because this current whip I have, basically, it's kind of random, but standing in water heals me. I lose 50 coins per half heart that I heal, but it becomes very, very helpful at certain points if you mess up. Oh shoot, come on! Of course, I fell all the way down the shaft. This is going to be a little tough, because I think he's a one-hit kill if he touches me. Son of a gun. Okay, I'm out of here. Gotta put some distance between him and me there. But yeah, so like Resident Evil, it's like you're in the middle of a boss fight. It's like, oh, I could use some shotgun ammo. Hold on there, boss man. I just gotta craft some shotgun ammo. Would you mind just stopping attacking me for a moment?
Yuri.
Craft stuff, craft healing in the middle of a battle. Up there, you. Get up there. Okay. All right. So that got a little precarious. He is just on my ass today. Good grief. These vertical sections really don't help. But whatever. Okay, we got through it. We got through it. I'm alive. I'm alive.
Woohoo.
Let's see. Bonus heart or hover slide? I'll go bonus heart. Never found the hover slide to be all that useful. All right. Don't get me started on green herbs.
Green herbs and ham.
Yeah. All right. So Paimon artwork looking really good. So what if those of you watching in live chat, what have you? Sword Sister. Yeah. The Resident Evil is not a good place to dig for realism for sure. Absolutely, it's ridiculous. It doesn't even try to be realistic, but it was a lot of fun anyway. But I just remember thinking that as I was playing, I'm like, okay, I'm just standing here crafting a bunch of stuff while the boss is patiently waiting for me to rejoin the fight. What else have you all been playing out there?
Iron Harvest is 75% off.
Right? That's been on my list.
Yeah.
I know it's one of those games where it's like, I really want to play this, but I just don't have the time. And
Too many games.
right now I've been trying to like master Northgard, like play it on increasingly harder and harder difficulty. But yeah.
I haven't had the Devouring Rage through the caverns yet. I don't know how fast he gets. So the Guardians increase in strength every stage now, so that almost got impaled. Huh. Sword Sister's been playing, says I cannot find anything fun, sale or not, which is depressing. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, there hasn't been a lot recently. Like I found this one, and I'm still working my way. I'm still playing Resident Evil 8 somewhat, and when I'm done that, I'll go back to Kingdom Come Deliverance and try to finish the story on that finally. It's a great time to kind of go through your backlog if you've got a backlog of games. I just got shot midair. Didn't even see that one coming. But yeah, I feel like this one's going to keep me busy for a while. Like, and I hope they support it long term and, you know, add stuff to it. And the 8, like, I like the asynchronous multiplayer. That it's a concept that has intrigued me for a long time.
My favorite was Pod back in the day, like my first introduction to asynchronous.
Yeah.
Where you could play, do the map, and then you could see either your ghost or the ghost of your friend playing the map, and that was tons of fun. Loved that game, and that game graphically still holds up as a racing game. It's ridiculous. It still holds up.
What is this? Appreciate my many blessings. No effect. What the heck? Thanks for that free blessing that does nothing. Oh my goodness. The fact that I am betting on the future of the game. Well, here's the thing, Funky. I enjoy it as it is now. And it was 20-something Canadian. And, I mean, part of why I wanted to do this was, as a content creator, wanted to see if this is a game that, you know, could be recommended in its current state. And so, want to see what, you know, once I get through the caverns, like once I, it's got a lot to offer right now. Let's put it that way. I mean, it's a simple premise, but you know, each time you fire it up, it's different. So, you know, I like that. Like that. So if it was an incomplete, like if it was an incomplete gaming experience right now, I would agree with you. And I mean, you know, if you don't, that's the whole premise behind early access. See, now you see these things are active, so life is a lot harder in this room than it was last time. Yeah, see, I just got shot. Dang it. Okay, getting out of here. So no, I mean, I'm not banking or betting on the future of the game. I'm enjoying it as it is now. But it's, again, it's a... What the hell just happened? I don't even know what hit me. Oh, those guys. I'm used to them being inactive now, so gotta find some water. Gotta heal up quickly. It's early access. If you don't like doing early access, don't do early access. I would never recommend someone get in on early access. But, that's it. Played very badly that time around. I am thinking of the potential. I am thinking of the potential it has. It's not to say that I'm not enjoying it now, you know what I mean? But like I said, it's early access. Don't get into it if you don't want an early access experience. If it doesn't look interesting to you right now as is, then don't, because yes, it is an incomplete game. There's no question about that. All right. But again, it's not, I mean, I don't know, Saib, what is your perspective on early access? I personally
it depends on how you're doing it. If you have no interest in engaging with your community, if you're just putting it out there to guarantee you some quick sales, it's not a good idea. It's disingenuous. An early access game is a game where the developers respond almost daily on the forums. You know, asking, engaging in conversation, talking about things, you know, engaging in the harder questions. On multiplayer games, is it good to have a high skill cap ceiling? Like an enormous, like where a single player can take on, you know, 24 other players because of both a combination of their skill and what that skill has earned them in the form of like upgrades, items, that kind of stuff. Is that a good thing to have? It's the concept of like, you know, professional sports players. It's like, would basketball be the same thing it is culturally relevant today if there wasn't an NBA, if there wasn't professional players? Would basketball, football, golf, soccer, anything be as big as they are today if there wasn't this peak of like the best players in the world? And you put you put 4 of the best players in the world up against a full team of like moderate, like mid-grade players, and they trounce them. Like just because again, it's like the skills are there and that offers something. So that is a very important question that you as a game developer need to be asking your community and engaging in that conversation in the creation of your game. Because if you're creating a multiplayer game, is that upper skill cap reasonable to be there? You know, does that deserve a place to be in there? And what happens to games that don't have that? And you know, you look at that and it's very different, and it asks questions. And so that's the thing. That's what early access is for, to ask questions that then proceed to create or influence your game on an absolutely massive level. If you are not doing that, then there's no point to going early access. It's just basically a tease, a paid demo. You're paying to play. It's bad, frankly. It's
Agreed.
very bad.
Oh, agreed. Entirely agreed. And so I still need to. I'll do some digging into the what the community involvement of the devs is looking like for this game, and I'll if whatever I find out, I'll report on the Discord. Yes. Okay. But yeah, like again, it's like you said you'd recommend Baldur's Gate 3. It's kind of the same thing. Baldur's Gate 3 is not done yet. You're kind of banking on the future potential of the game. But they are, like, Larian has pretty good reputation, and they're
engaged with the community. They're
engaged
like,
with the
what is working? One of the things that they have is they have this heat map tool, and they're spending so much time learning about what people are doing in the game. What are people enjoying in the game? How is this affecting their play? You know, on and on and on and on and on. And that is probably the most important thing that they can be doing right now, because if you're going for a game that is as big as this, you need that ridiculously high pool of testers to get back to you on the game and to tell you what they think of it and what they feel about it and what they like about it, what they don't like about it. It's like you need to have that interaction. If you don't have that interaction, then it's not that good.
no, absolutely. And so, yeah, that's a necessary for me to be able to recommend this one. I mean,
and again, in this game, what they're doing, I think they need it in this game. I think this game, the game that you're playing, I think that requires that level of early access, because if they don't have that, if they don't have the ability to kind of like see what's working and what's not working, then it's not going to be as good. Now, I don't know if that's healthy for the game because of what it is. But again, I guess we'll see.
I think this is a good candidate for early access, just because, again, like if I were developing this, I'd be like, okay, well, I think this is what will appeal to community that likes this type of game, but there's going to be stuff I don't think of, right? As a developer. There's a chest over here I want to grab. So I think it's a good case for ongoing development and early access, like Fall Guys was. Except that I don't think Fall Guys went in early. Was it early access? I don't even remember.
Isn't it still technically early access?
Well, it's got ongoing it's got seasons happening. I'm not sure. I haven't played it in ages.
No, it's officially released.
That's what I thought. They're just kind of doing.
What's one of the ones that's not? What's it called?
Fortnite.
Fortnite is still technically unreleased.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, that's
Really
mental
good.
again, right?
All right. Give me a blessing. Wings or hover slide? Wings for sure. Do I have enough to get another one? I do.
You.
Long whip or hover slide? Oh, definitely gotta go for the long whip.
Eyebrows.
Sword Sister asks, do you guys remember Sniff when Blizz used to test games for years before releasing them? Aw. Yeah.
Well, they clearly don't have the capability of testing games anymore. Like they really don't. I don't know what it is, what happened, who in the chain was taken out, but their ability to internally test systems and mechanics and to polish games is non-existent and has been for a while now. For the past 4 years at the very least, they just don't have the same robust internal testing regimen that they used to have, because they're putting out mechanics that are just so dumb. It's like, hey, we're put out this mechanic. Technically, this ruins like the last like 3 months of your progress, and just makes your day absolutely terrible. And yes, you are affected by this, whereas other people are not. So we're sorry. Just deal with it. It's like, again, basic level testing and logic would have been able to like make this work, but it doesn't, and it doesn't show up. It continually doesn't show up, and it's kind of a joke at this point because it's so bad and it just keeps getting worse. And you're like, can you guys do any amount of testing in your game? Like any amount? And I mean, you know, Cyberpunk obviously failed from this too. They lost sight of what made The Witcher good, and it was multiple things happening all at once. Like it really was. Like they just crashed and burned on every possible level that they could. It's like, ugh.
I just found somebody's body here, and I would love to.
Oh, no!
I would love to watch their phantom. Whoops. I got distracted by. I was gonna say because sometimes you can camp out by a dead body and then watch the phantom meet their demise if you've beaten them there. Son of a gun, but I'm dead now.
Cool. Now your phantom will be there.
That it will.
And that's why I think it's kind of fun to. I think you're like, I don't know. I think there's more available, basically, that they could do with that game. I don't know what it is.
This one that I'm playing now. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
I think so.
Like
I think so.
I wish. Like no, with the replays and stuff like that, I wish that it wasn't as just like, oh yeah, no, this happens and then that's it. It's like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I'd like to be. It would be interesting to be able to re-enter after and maybe just watch your own phantom, study your own gameplay, kind of thing. But to have a mode where you can replay dungeons, I would appreciate too. Plus, maybe a race mode, because right now, unless you have there's a certain whip that has a negative side effect where if the phantoms beat you to a treasure chest, they steal all the gold and like you don't get any. So, but that's really the only thing I've encountered so far that puts an emphasis on speed in this. Really, you know. I can just take my sweet ass time. Well, except that you do get the guardians after you, right? And especially the devourer, he chases you, and if he catches you, you're done. So you want to stay as far ahead of him as possible. So, but yeah, like our race mode, various things like that. And if they didn't add stuff like that, I'd be surprised and disappointed. I mean, again, this is backed by Devolver, which has pretty good reputation in my books. Atomic Stew says, even with good dev engagement, I personally think early access is a little bit like paying to be a QA tester. Well, I mean, that's fair. The exception being, like, you can just play it for fun rather than having to submit, reports and et cetera, et cetera. Standing near a phantom heals half a heart every 2 seconds. Take damage when receiving a new blessing. All my good whips are lost. Chests
Hey,
contain 50% more coins, phantom steel coins. I could try the obsidian whip. Blessings are 30% cheaper, that one. Immune to fall damage. Oh, it's not that helpful. I'm gonna try this one. Something that researched. Oh yeah, I should show the drawing for while I'm paused here. There's Moontag's art. Funky says something that emerged from this year's E3 and pandemic is the resurgence of demos and consoles. Yeah, and demos on PC too. Like,
Yep.
it's we're seeing a resurgence of demos, which I think is a fantastic thing. I played a couple of the demos last week on this show, and yeah, just that's how you know. That's how you know if you enjoy the game or not. Like Tale of Paper, absolutely
So delightful.
got that one on my wish list.
Mhm.
War Tales. Oh my god, that's going to be a great game. I'm so excited for that.
Did you pick up that demo? Did you try it out?
War Tales? Yeah, no, I've been playing the crap out of it.
Oh, good. Yeah, you should.
I have there's a bit of a exploit in the game where you could become very, very, very wealthy and running around. But unfortunately, the demo only lasts for like 7 battles, and you have to do one immediately. And it's like, well, crap. And then you might get caught in a second one that's unavoidable, and it's like, oh crap. Then the unfortunate thing is that you need to level up your characters to the point where they can equip the nice gear that you can make with, having an unlimited amount of gold. So, if the exploit hangs over until the release version, I will definitely be doing a video guide on it. And you're like, oh look, guys, I'm in this poor peasant group that's trying to survive in this world, this very hostile world. Whatever shall I do? Oh no, look, I have 1 million gold. What to do now? Oh, let's just buy everything. But you can play as a merchant in that game. So if they, and that's kind of like how I discovered the exploit. I was so excited because I was just like, I was buying up supplies here and selling them to this guy over there, then running over there and buying stuff here and selling it to this person over there, and it's like you can play as a merchant, and that's so cool. And then you can get attacked by mercenaries, and that's so cool. And then you can get your characters leveled up, and that's so cool. So yeah, really like that game. I like the Darklands feel of that game. I really wish somebody made a new Darklands, like Lord. I want to, I really wonder why nobody has made another Darklands game. I really, really wonder why. I mean, some would say that Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are spiritual successors to that game, and I guess that's sort of right, so that then all the successors of those games kind of have it, but it's still not necessarily the same thing, and that's what I miss about it. So yeah.
No, fair enough. I remember you telling me about Darklands quite a bit back in the day.
It's such a good game.
I tried it once many years ago, but all right. So this whip is cursing me here. If I can actually, if I bless this, this will be a great whip actually. But like I shouldn't even bother going up there because so far the phantoms have beaten me to every chest, so I've literally gotten 0 coins. So this whip hasn't helped me at all. So I've just got to try and get ahead of them and beat. Oh shoot! Come on. Like that. Okay, finally, got some. Very few. Okay, I'm the first one here, so Get these two. Shoot, I'm not displaying the game, am I? Oh. Sorry about that.
Oh, good.
I'm a doofus. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm ahead of all of the phantoms now, or at least maybe they all died. I don't know. It's funny too, because if you're in the level where the phantoms die, they have like a progress bar above their head that shows how close they are to death. So you can follow them and watch them die. These
And they all die when they go into the same area, and you're all like, "Oh, I wonder what's in the room."
Well, it's funny when you go into one dungeon, it's like 25 explorers have died here. You're like, "Oh shit!
Oh shit!
What's going on?" Yeah, let's do this. Kind of morbid. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. It's like, because that's the phantoms. Like, it tells you, so if it says, 5 explorers have died here, then you see 5 phantoms. And, I don't know. I something about this entire premise of this game just really appeals to me. Can I get up there? Oh, he beat me. Okay, never mind. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to capture this. I'm going to get this relic here on the first level. And that'll bless this whip. Get rid of the negative effect of the... Shit. I went the wrong way. I'm a genius. Get rid of the negative side effect of the phantoms stealing the coins from me. And then this will be a pretty dang good whip. Like right now, I'm not even going to bother going for those chests because they're empty. Yeah, it'd be nice if they could incorporate some kind of co-op mode. And it is kind of, because it's not really co-op, but it's not really competitive either. Because I mean, it becomes competitive when you have certain effects on your whips, but honestly, it's a little bit cooperative in that the other phantoms you can watch them and see. They might lead you to treasure, they might lead you to... Or if you're not sure how to get across a certain area, you can watch the other players do it, and it can be helpful. Right. What was that, Moon?
Oh no, I'm watching a stream, but I'm on a delay, and I saw you like catch on fire.
Oh yeah, thankfully still have 2 hearts. So yeah, you do have... Yeah. Am I ahead of everybody? Because the chests are full.
Hey, I don't see any phantoms.
They all died.
Oh no.
I mean, if you see a phantom, they failed the dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So.
There was an award-winning anime out a few years ago where robots just start creating so the robots are given they create AIs and robots to start building up cities in the world and stuff, but they end up going rogue, but they continue to build on the planet, so the planet is just it's just like thousands of layers of city over top of the planet. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger,
Oh wow.
and the robots just don't stop building. And so yeah, that's the nightmare world that they're in. And they're always in like destabilized areas, or like areas that they're not supposed to be in, so the robots try and hunt them down and kill them. And it's like, that's what this like every time I look at a game where it procedurally generates the world, I'm like, yeah, that's the algorithm that'll eventually go haywire and kill everybody. No.
I thought that was gonna
Welcome
be you
to the dystopian future.
who goes haywire and kills everybody.
No.
No.
You have competition?
No, yeah, there's a lot of competition because there's a lot of stupid people out there who are like, I wonder if we could do that. Ew. I wonder what this button does. The last words that will ever be uttered by the human race will be some scientist in a lab saying, "Oh, it worked."
It worked.
It's like I can't believe the stupidity of some people. Like, I was reading. Did I mention this week, or did I mention this just passively, not on podcast last week? I was reading about the demon's egg, or the demon's core. Right, the demon's core. I think that's what they called it. It's this
Yes,
nuclear.
okay.
What?
I remember the story.
Yeah. So like, this guy was the scientist, the first person who ever died from radiation poisoning, realized that if he took a nuclear core and surrounded it with nickel, that he could create a reflective casing that would essentially make the core go go nuclear.
Right. Okay.
Just passively by the radiation that the core was putting off. If you turned it all back on itself and bounced it back in on itself, you'd create a fusion reaction. And 2 scientists died trying to do this stupid experiment. Well, they ended up killing a bunch of bystanders too. And it's like, how many times did they run the experiment? Hundreds of times. The first 2 times that you go, oh, look, if we do this, it starts to go critical. Hey, let's keep trying this. It's like, how many is enough? How many times is enough to basically threaten yourself, everybody else within the vicinity, the city that you're in, the state that you're in? Of course you're in the middle of a Cold War, so that, you know, that's like, well, or a war, so that would have disastrous consequences. How many times is it enough for you to almost destroy yourself and everybody around you within like 100 miles? Like, how many times? And the guy was like, hundreds more. Really? Idiot.
But
And
it's
it's
for
like,
science.
But it's for science. It's like, no, you're an idiot. Oh my god. What is wrong with you? Why would you try to intentionally set off a nuke several times? Well, it works. We can prove that it works. For what reason? Well, to know that we can do it. Okay, you know how to do it. Stop doing it. Well, we can't stop doing it. We have to continue to do it to prove that we can do it. You're an idiot.
Logic doesn't make sense. No.
When scientific progress becomes an end in itself, that's where, you know, I don't know. Some argue we can get morality from science. No, we cannot. It's an amoral process. You have to apply morality to it.
That's why I really like science fiction stories and books, because those things explore the ethics and the repercussions and consequences of things, and like the general effect. Like, if you want to like study that sort of thing, like if you want to be like, but the science is like, do it through a book. It's a lot safer. This is like frustrating.
Sword Sister says, isn't that the kind of algorithm that creates the far lands in Minecraft? The broken chunks that look like they came right out of a nightmare. Yeah, exactly. Well,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and that's the thing, when AI does, if AI was in charge of infrastructure, creating, you know, cities, worlds, whatever. Like, if it had complete autonomy, I mean, I would imagine most of what they create would be based in pragmatism. Like, I don't know that there would be much aesthetics or arts to it, you know what I mean? Unless it's programmed to do so, like in Minecraft, it's programmed to do it a certain way. But if it had complete autonomy to be like, make the best world possible, yeah, I feel like it would be like, basically, it might design it so your apartment is like, you open your apartment door and you're immediately in your cubicle at your office. Yeah,
That makes me think of like cells at work.
so it's just you know, I almost died. Okay, yay! So I've got bulging chests now. Bulging chests.
Bulging chest. Oh, is that what you call it?
Giggity. Full of treasure. But without the nasty side effect of the ghosts stealing the coins from the chests. So this is good. I should be able to buy a bunch of blessings and hopefully... Okay, I'm going for the Inferno this time. That's what I'm doing. I'm going for the Inferno. Gonna try to see what's at the end of that. That seems to be the end game currently. Haven't gotten there yet. I've gotten to the Inferno. I haven't gotten past the second area of the Inferno. Atomic. When true AI is unleashed, it will do one of three things. Hang on, I'll read that in a second.
Wipe us out, enslave us, or protect us. That's the gamble. Yeah, sounds about right.
Well, they're not all mutually exclusive either. They might try to enslave
Little
us.
column A, little
And
column B.
Well, like how many you know?
Well,
But, like-
actually, that reminds me of a story. So there was an AI in a plane to help, like, you know, with the pilots or something like that. And so, like, they're flying to this place. I think it was like it had a range around it, and so the way you had to enter was to do a circular kind of like gradual set, right? Just boop, 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 like that spiral down. Well, the AI thought, hey, you know what? That seems really inefficient. Let's go straight in and into the mountain,
Fun.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But it thought it was helping, and it didn't let the pilots know because it was helping.
It was helping.
I was scared. I was so sad when I heard that story.
I will
was
take
like,
care
"Oh."
of you, humans. Yay! Oops, I don't understand how planes work, even though that's what I'm programmed to do. I missed the edge and I fell off and then I fall down. Ah, this is not going well. This is not going well. Let's see if I can heal up. Okay, whatever. That's fine. But how many stories have there been where it's like you program the AI to create world peace? Wasn't that the whole thing with Ultron? And there's other stories as well. And it's like,
Funky says,
I know how to
I
create world
cannot
peace.
let you do that, Dave.
Yeah. I know how to create world peace. Let's eliminate all of humanity so there's no more fighting.
You know, it'll improve the species.
Yeah. It'll improve the species when they're all gone. Why am I so
Sad that there's some people who think like that.
Why am I so dumb right now? I feel like I should restart. I'm not gonna... Yeah, you know what? No, I'm gonna lose my whip if I do that. And I want this whip. Oh yeah, we haven't seen this guy yet. This is the Masked Defiler. He shoots these purple poison bombs.
Here.
Which are... He's probably the easiest of the Guardians to deal with, except in certain situations if you get cornered. It can be pretty tricky. Down we go. There we go. You can fall. This is video game logic. You can fall from any height as long as you roll when you land. You'll take no damage.
Gamer body. If only that was a real life thing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, crap. See, like, this is one of those situations. Yeah, he just killed me. Okay. Yeah, Isaac Asimov. Yeah, so what else is going on? Anything else in the Steam sale that looked interesting? I'm just gonna...
There's an enormous amount of stuff in the Steam sale. I've been trying to go through it. So, Home Behind 2 has a demo. It is, it looks interesting. I was about to give that a try, or I'll give that a try later today.
Home Behind 2.
Yeah, Home Behind 2. It does look legitimately interesting. If you haven't, Pathfinder is good and deserves business.
Deserves business.
Yeah,
Like as in
Wizards of the Coast is just, I mean, they've really just embraced this whole Hollywood thing, like to a hardcore direction. You know, there's gonna be new what's the tabletop show that they do? What's that called? With Laura Bailey.
tabletop show with Laura Bailey. I don't know.
I mean, we've talked about it numerous times before. So it's really funny. She does a bit with like herself and and a hag and a cupcake.
Oh yeah,
Critical
Role.
So
that one,
yeah.
yeah.
in Critical Role, that's what the new thing is. Like that's what the new more Hollywood versions of Critical Role. And I don't
know
I don't think that's a good idea. Like I don't think that's a good idea in the slightest. I think that's a horrible idea. But that's what we're going to be dealing with from, going forward for a very long time. And yeah,
Because,
sad
clearly
is
Hollywood can do it better. Clearly, just you
Mhm.
press just don't know what you're doing. Like,
Just put-
obviously, our version is better.
Put some celebs in there because everyone wants to see what's her face, Captain Marvel.
It's
Everyone
so
wants to
funny
see Brie
because
Larson and I don't know who the hell else. I don't.
yeah. It
Anyone?
was really funny because like growing up seeing these actors and celebrities and stuff, my family didn't actually know what their names were. We would call them by their characters that we'd seen them in and if we liked them in it, kind of thing.
Has anyone out there been watching Loki? I want to get people's opinions on it. I've watched the first 3 episodes, and this week's wasn't as good. But I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I know some reviews are saying it's slow and boring, but I've actually found it quite intriguing. Except for, like I said, this week's episode I didn't like as much. You're enjoying it, Funky? Oh, shoot, I went the
And
wrong
that's
way again.
good.
It's a different kind of show. Because Loki, I mean, he's not a hero. He's not really an anti-hero either, at least not at this point.
He's
in
a
the show.
god.
He's the trickster god. He is himself.
Right.
And
He is a supernatural character. He is not a human. He looks like a human, but he is a god.
I'm curious to
I love that
like-
people are like trying to like establish like rules to him, and it's
Real
like
life parameters and stuff.
real
but
life
it's like,
parameters.
dude,
It's like, yeah, well, the next time we have somebody who's a an all-powerful being, sure, let's talk about that. Or semi, like, it's not all-powerful. He's not a god,
it's
but
not.
he's like,
No, but
he's like he has
God.
tons of magic powers, and he fights
Mhm.
other equivalently powerful beings, or the
Yeah.
Hulk, whichever.
Mhm.
So it's one of these things where it's like, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think for a lot of people, just like there's a lot of self-projection, basically, and just like the line between, you know, reality and fiction is just completely blurred in their head.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard that too, Sword Sister, that a lot of people tapped out for the third episode, which is... It's interesting because the third episode is the one that I thought was not as good. I thought the second episode was quite good, so you'd think... I would have thought if people had watched the second episode, they'd come back for the third one and maybe tap out for the fourth. But, I don't know. I mean... Could be other factors, too. Like, it's... summer, there's, you know, people are enjoying being outside. Who knows? I'm gonna...
Yes, Funky, I agree. That's really sad. These people want to be told what to do / think.
Oh, hey, buddy. I forgot you were chasing me. I better get my ass moving here. Sorry, who wants to be told what to do and think?
Well, just the general comments we were making before about Loki and reality and fiction. It's like,
Well, yeah, because it's interesting, because it's
Yeah.
like... I saw one reviewer who was like... They made Loki a joke in his own show. I'm like... It's Loki. He's always a joke.
he's a
Like,
trickster.
were you expecting him to be a hero? Like,
Yeah, right? It's like he's an individual who basically follows his own agenda, as far as I can tell.
This is not the Loki that betrayed Thanos. This is Loki from earlier in his timeline. He's the Loki right after Avengers 1, who, you know, it's the scene in Endgame where they go back in time and kind of change things, and then he grabs the Tesseract, like he escapes custody, grabs the Tesseract, and vanishes. That's the Loki that is the protagonist of this show. So, no, he's not a hero.
Well, it's the same thing with people like, you know, putting some like, when It came out, and it's like, oh look, a murdering clown that consumes children. I identify with this person. It's like, what? Wait, you what? Oh yeah, no, that I really believe in them. It's like, sorry, what? We're talking about the same psychopathic murdering clown, right? That consumes children? Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
I identify
Definitely
with...
not.
Yeah, there's a sophistication to certain... Like, I don't particularly... There's a genre of horror movie where it's about the villain or the monster or whatever, and that's just... It's about it. And, you know, the villain wins and can't be defeated. I don't really get it. I don't really like that kind of story. Some people really like that. And I remember when there was a guy, he was a guy I went to school with, that explained this to me, because I was like, I don't get these movies. He's like, well, yeah. The good guys are not supposed to win. Like, the central premise, it's about the monster, the villain. You know, that... It's just telling that story. I was like, okay. I don't like that, but, you know, it's not for me. But that is what that is what it is in a lot of cases. Okay, how am I going to deal with this? Make a flying leap. And yes. There we go. Get me out of here. Go away. Oh, now I have to climb. Fantastic. I have long whip, thankfully. Is that a little faster?
You have a giant head following you.
Yeah, that's the guardian of this temple. The Raging Devourer. Okay. Bless me. Give me a something. Bonus heart or hover slide? Bonus heart, absolutely. Okay, I'm going for the Inferno this time. Cabin in the woods. Good guys lose at the end. They chose to lose. Interesting.
I don't think they. Well, I mean,
I've never seen
like,
that one.
They died, trying to do what they could, right? So,
Fair enough.
I mean, they were bleeding out and whatnot. So, I was so interested in watching a sequel to that. I don't think we're gonna get that anymore, though.
No, now that
'Cause,
hasn't Joss been canceled?
yeah, Joss has been canceled. You kind of
Apparently he was a dick to work with.
there were a lot of people who said that, but I think he was kind of picky and choosy.
Yeah.
With
Oh,
stuff, and I know he was very, very, very.
Sorry.
He
never
was
mind.
very, very. I don't know what's the term, like, what is it? What is the term? I'm trying to find the term and I can't think of it. He was like randomly emotional,
Mhm.
right?
Mm,
And I
that's hard to
think
deal with.
there's and I think, like, I don't think he was bipolar, but I think that he had good days and bad days, and that he's probably, like, got some stuff going on where he can't process things all the time at the perfect rate, because he also does really weird things too. So it's like, I don't know.
Oh,
I feel sorry for him. I wish he had apologized to those people before that stuff came out, because he was a real, like, there was nothing I would say is illegal. It was very dickish and extremely rude, and morally it was just not very cool, but it wasn't necessarily illegal.
I'm
like,
not saying
from what I
he-
remember reading.
I'm not saying
like-
he deserved to be canceled and not work anymore. But I know, like, he's shit. I went the wrong way. I didn't mean to come here to get the relic. I intended to move on to the caverns, but we're here now, so I'll just finish this out. But yeah, like, Charisma Carpenter's account of working with him is...
And that's what I was referring to the most.
Yeah, I was really annoyed by that, because he was, like, really apparently incensed when she became pregnant, and they worked it into the show in the I think the 4th season of Angel, but he was apparently not terribly supportive of the fact that she had become pregnant, and apparently was like, because she's Catholic, and he would mock her faith and stuff. I know he's like a one of those very opinionated atheists, but like, it was just not cool. Assuming, I mean, I only got one side of the story, obviously, but yeah, like I said, I'm not a fan of cancel culture. I'm not, like,
No.
I don't think
So
someone...
I think when you have somebody who's difficult to get along with, you pull them into a room and you have a conversation with them.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah. But some people, especially someone whose success and fame has gone to their head, and I've worked with those kinds of people before, you can't talk to, you just can't have a conversation with them.
Unfortunately,
Doesn't matter
sometimes
what
they
you
just
say, they just don't want to listen.
mirror
And
universe.
so sometimes you're just stuck working with those people. But you can try. Like, you should try. I'm not saying you shouldn't try, but like, I like Joss's work. I do. Like, the shows he's made are pretty good, but at the same time, yeah, he doesn't seem like a person I would want to work with. I would love more Firefly. but it's probably getting a little bit too late.
It was on the list of things for them to reboot up until Disney bought them out, and then Disney is just sitting again. Disney's just decided to sit on it, not do anything with it.
Yeah.
So
So sad.
it's so horrendously sad, and
Like, there's such a huge fan base, and like, just this is something people have been asking for. Is I don't understand why that they're doing it like this. Is like, you know, are maybe they'll do a thing where they're like, you know, 20 years later. I don't know.
Maybe a reboot in the fall in the Firefly universe with different
Right.
characters, because I think
Yeah, because there was like a lot of progression from like the movie, right, as well as like the comics and the books and stuff.
yeah.
So, like, it's not like it's a very like closed universe. Like, there's so much you can do with it.
Right. But yeah, there's a lot of characters you just won't be able. I mean,
the
they killed-
tabletop game is amazing. It is very amazing. I really enjoy it. It's super cool.
Mhm. Firefly ended with the movie where Joss got out his message by trying to manipulate the population. You will create monsters.
No, his messaging has always been pretty on point, but unfortunately, I think he's lost. He's one of those people again that he hates certain things because he was told to, essentially, or that he thinks that that's what he has to do, and then it's kind of sad that that was what ultimately took him down. It's like, oof. And as far as I know, he still doesn't see it that way. So I don't know how he sees it, but I don't think he's been putting two and two together.
I don't know if has he been working much lately?
I don't know what he's been doing. Kind of sad.
Simon and I have a long history with Joss Whedon's works. We have a lot of late nights watching box sets of Angel. Way back in the day, and that's another... Angel I thought was way better than Buffy. I tried to rewatch Buffy in my 20s. I couldn't get through the first few episodes. I was like, oh, this is so cringe. Angel was definitely more of a mature show.
Oh, he hasn't tweeted since 2020.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Might be laying low. Oh, I missed the wall and almost impaled myself again. All right, going for the Inferno this time. Let's see if I can do it. No guarantees.
Well, apparently, he's still writing.
Well, I would imagine
Must be.
he's. I would imagine he's doing stuff. Just is he doing much
Keeping it
in the
on
public
download,
eye right
probably.
now? Yeah. I feel like these shouldn't hurt you when they're not moving. So. There we go. I'll stand on this lantern. Fire doesn't hurt you in this, oddly. A Buffy reboot is in pre-production. Oh, I do remember hearing about that, but is it?
Yeah, I don't think he's tied to it. I don't see any reference to that. And as far as I know, that's just. I mean, I will call that what it is, and that is garbage. I mean, I'm sure I haven't seen it myself, but I'm positive it's just going to be hot garbage. Like, there was nothing wrong with the original Buffy show. The universe is big enough that you could do tons of different stuff with it. But instead, what do? Oh, reboot it, retell the same story. It's like, You can tell other stories. You don't have to tell the same story over and over
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
But the nostalgia money.
It's like there's so much more you could do with that. No, let's take all the work that Sarah Michelle Gellar did and throw it in the garbage. Yeah, okay.
Well-
So rude.
The show is pretty dated at this point. Like, you can't really go back and watch it. I don't think it's a show that a new audience would get into, you know what I mean?
No, but they could, again, they didn't have to reboot it. They could just, tell a new story within that universe.
Yeah, for sure, agreed.
Right?
Like, there's so much more you could do with that, and there's so many more directions you can go with the story that's available. It doesn't make any sense as to why, whatever.
Yeah. Have we read the comics seasons 8 through 12? Have not, actually. I would imagine, because Joss, he's the creator. I would imagine he would have to be tied to it in some way, shape, or form. Unless the
You'd
rights
think.
got sold. Unless he, like, completely sold off the rights to it or something. Alright, this is not my best start, but here. I'll just stand in this water and heal up. No big deal.
Ikaw yung mana.
However, before I get here, this will probably be my last run of the day. I'll check on the artwork that Moon's doing. Okay, yes, this is good. Let me put some distance between. Oh, let's have a moment of silence. F's in the chat for Gucci.
Oh.
F's in the chat for Gucci. I wonder if the Guardian... I don't even see what killed him there. I wonder if the Guardian got him. Alright. Doing pretty good. Long whip or hover slide? Long whip. Need that long whip. Right, ladies? Sorry. I'm an idiot.
What's it
sometimes.
good?
I'm a dumbass. I don't try to deny it. Okay, so after this, I gotta remember going to the caverns, not going for the relic. Alright. That went pretty smoothly. I'm gonna climb. Oh. Get me up there. No? Okay.
Hello, Meander.
You have a cat?
Hi, Meander. Yeah, Meander was in the cat tower, and then now she's decided to go off somewhere doing cat things.
Cat.
Like, I no longer like being here. Goodbye.
I shall take my leave, human.
Yeah, she came down to the table where Paimon's hanging out in the little fabric bed here, and she kind of looks over. She's like, "Ugh, jump." Although she is a lot friendlier to Paimon on a considerable level than Luna is. Like Luna, when she sees Paimon, she's like, "Meh."
Evil dog. Evil critter. You're a dog, therefore you were
How
evil.
does? How does?
Atomic's waiting for a Babylon 5 continuation. That's a show I've... Yeah.
Everybody's watching Stargate right now, which is like
Oh.
random AF. I mean, it's a good series. I really enjoy it, but still, just very, very interesting. That that's
Shows
become
the-
the next big thing.
These shows go... They have random resurgences. I know, like, all... Like, a lot of Gen Zers were really into Friends for a while. Like, Friends...
Oh yeah.
My nieces, my teenage nieces a couple years ago were like binge
Really
watching
enjoyed it.
Friends.
Yeah. No, I was watching that for a while too, but like towards the end, I got really frustrated with Ross and Rachel, so I was just like, nope, I can't do it anymore. I'm getting too angry at these fictional characters.
They were honestly, the Ross and Rachel thing was my least favorite part of that show. I hated Ross and Rachel episodes. So I was like, oh, stop it! I just...
See ya, Arturo.
Bye, Arturo. The Blessing Shrine Loki looks like a toilet. Great, thanks. Now I'm not going to unsee that. Oh,
You're
that's-
welcome.
Yeah, right. Hey, well, I mean, when you're stuck in a temple deep underground, you got to go somewhere. Maybe it is a toilet. Maybe that's how you get the blessing. I don't know. Oh, this room looks fun. Holy shit. Don't shoot me. Oh, crap. No. I just got I got impaled. Okay, getting through there with only 1 damage. Not bad. Not bad. Now I need some water. Crap. I gotta time my approach here. Okay, I'll go now. That one will go up. Those things won't be able to catch me. Oh, fan-freaking-tastic. So yeah, difficulty takes a spike here. And then when we get to the Inferno, it takes another massive spike. So those of you who thought I was playing on easy mode, you're about to see some stuff. Do I have time to do this? Yeah, he's a little ways away still. Can I get up there? Yes, got it. Now we slide. This is brutal. These are so close together. What even happened there? I'm so lucky I didn't take damage there. Holy crap. There we go. Enough for a blessing now. Go to the blessing toilet. Oh, these ones suck.
The blessing tool.
Oh, they suck, do they?
It's everything's an innuendo in this game. Yeah. Get the long whip. Would you like to buy a blessing? Yeah, it's true, Funky. The first... Same with, like, Star Trek TNG. The first couple seasons of Next Generation are just painful.
Yeah, that
And
one's
then it
pretty
gets
terrible.
really good.
What was the changing moment? Do you think was when it like what was the moment that changed the game from bad to like good?
Next Generation.
Yeah.
I don't remember the timeline well enough to know for sure, but I think, I mean, when they got into the Borg stuff, that was really cool.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
But I think the show just really found its footing. Like, Patrick Stewart, when he signed on to play Picard, he did not even, he thought the show was going to bomb. He didn't even unpack his bags when he got to LA to start filming the show. Like, he thought it was going to be terrible. So, I don't know. I don't know if the writers, staff, I don't know if they were even taking it seriously in the first couple of seasons.
Oh, they were because the previous one, I mean, he didn't, but all of the other staff realized that this was like a once in a lifetime opportunity because of what it had done for the cast and crew of the previous show. So, I mean, they all knew it. Like, when they were asked, is like, were there any? I remember this one person asking them, were there any other good shows and movies that you wanted to be on that you thought would be really good? And they're like, no, we all knew that this was going to be the best that we were going to get on TV for the next little while, that this would launch all of our careers because it had before. Like, they were quite clear, most everybody had said and believed that. So I don't know where, I can understand why Patrick Stewart thought that it might not. So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so I also think when they got rid of Tasha Yar, or didn't she quit or something, and then they killed her off?
I think I'm not positive on that. I believe that she was like leaning towards doing some other stuff because she was one of the people who didn't necessarily believe in it. So
when they when she left and Worf became the security chief,
like, that was an improvement to the show, honestly.
Hell yeah, Worf was an amazing part of that show.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Worf was great. And I mean, he only got better at that role. Like him in Deep Space Nine was amazing. Like, really, really amazing. Some of the best acting I can think of was Worf acting in that show. Like,
yeah,
he nailed his role, like, brilliantly.
What did you think of Geordi? I was talking to someone, a female, or like a woman friend of mine who was kind of a Star Trek fan. And
I mean, like,
actually, you know what?
He was great.
It was Time Being I was talking to. I don't know why I was trying to anonymize her. She's pretty popular on our server, but she told me Geordi. Whoa, okay, that was close. Almost bit it there. She told me Geordi was kind of a creep. Like, gave her really creepy vibes.
I think that was because he was bad at. He was very, very, very bad at romancing the opposite sex, and
I agree with that.
They kind of made him They kind of made him the fall guy-ish when it came to that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think they didn't. I don't think they wrote him very well until the later series.
He was one of my favorite characters when I was a kid, just because I thought his visor was cool. Plus, he was on Reading Rainbow. But yeah, watching it back as an adult, he was not my favorite character. Didn't hate him though. And I just, should have known there might be spikes there. Damn it. Damn it. So this is about as far as I've gotten. I've gotten a little farther than this. I have gotten to the second stage of Inferno before. Soul released by Kuka9551 Reku. Completed one of the temples that I died in. And so I got my wooden whip back. My wooden whip. I want to bless this whip. Like this whip's amazing. One more run to just get the low-level relic.
Yeah, Islington, Worf and Dax were really good. I hated when they... Yeah, I did not like the way that ended.
Dax...
I always felt that was like...
I was reading up on Dax leaving the show too, leaving Deep Space Nine, and that was another messy situation. She wanted out. She wanted out of the show because of the treatment that she received from one of the higher ups, producers, directors. What the hell? Let me. Apparently, she was subjected to some misogynistic treatment by somebody who was high up on the show. So she actually left. Like, the actor left, which is unfortunate. I didn't like her in the early seasons. She became more interesting later on. How have I not found any treasure yet? What you doing there, buddy? Just checking things out? Okay. Yeah, Worf and Dax, at first I was like, oh, eye roll. But it was a really fun part of that show, actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was really legitimately good.
I really liked Deep Space Nine a lot. I thought I remember feeling like I thought the ending... I don't know how I felt about the ending. Less climactic than I was hoping for.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, it felt like, yeah, they kind of resolved the Dominion War stuff, but didn't pack as much of a punch for me as I was hoping it would, but still, like, really good show. Voyager 2, I felt that way. I thought they'd get home and, like, some epic climactic thing would happen.
Well, I mean, they took out the Queen. I thought the Voyager was the best ending to a Star Trek show ever. Like, Next Generation just kind of like ended like very quietly. I thought the ending that they gave to to Voyager was the best ending there was.
I'm not saying it's bad. It was not the, like, yeah, that they took out the Borg Queen and stuff was good, but it was the Homecoming. There was the Homecoming.
I would have written it a little bit differently.
Run, my minions, run! Sorry. How would you have written it?
I would have had them uncover, just because of the way that they were going with the story and the events that they were uncovering. I would have had them fight a Borg cube that was full of people who willingly became Borg, and who had done so for a variety of reasons. You know, they capture this ship, they start to free the people. The people are like, "Oh, thank you," and then they like turn on them, and then there's this like big fight between them and the stuff at the last minute. But you know, like I said, I'm happy with both. Like I'm happy with how they ended it too. Like I think it was really good. So yeah. I just would have put a little bit more emphasis on like the you know, the choice thing that had happened so much in other aspects of the show. So, and then that would have like set up the Borg a little bit more in the future. I think that would have been. I think that was a good idea. I think it was a very good idea to like set them up as the primary antagonists in the future, because they were, but they really didn't do a good job of it in like the content coming out now. Like I'm very disappointed with what, you know, the card show has become. I'm horribly distraught over that. That's just a shame.
It became the 7 of 9 show. Well, yeah, when they found 7 of 9, it was.
I like 7 of 9. I think she's a fine character, but I think that in the new content that they've written, I don't think that fits. I really don't like that. They took her and made her the only Borg, you know, and it's like it's dumb. It's dumb. I do not agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought she was a good addition to the show too.
Yeah. I didn't like the character that she replaced. That character just drove me nuts. Like,
I don't even remember who she replaced. Oh yeah. The lady that
Neelix's character. She was like basically this like Spockish type character, but there was just a lot of creepy things with how they wrote her character. It's like, well, she's technically 5 years old, but she's also an adult.
Yeah.
It's like
then when
the problems that they had with that kind of stuff creeping into the next generation, you would have thought somebody would have been like, hey, let's not do that. That is a terrible idea. And instead, you know, they just doubled down on it. So, yeah. Very creepy. Very, 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 very weird. I know a lot of people who talk about that a lot.
I agree. I agree. Did you know? Okay, so Deep Space Nine. What are the names of the guys that worked for the Dominion? That were all
Jem'Hadar.
No, but that were all clones of each other. Like not the Jem'Hadar, the guys that
like Wyuun's people.
Yeah.
Like what do they call them? The what do they call them? The Vorta.
So the main Vorta guy that you see regularly.
Yeah, he played so many different roles. He was in I didn't realize it until I like played through it again a couple of times, or watched through it again a couple of times.
Yeah.
But my lord, he's so many different characters.
He plays Bunt, the another semi-regular character. The Ferengi guy.
I didn't realize that until I was like, wait a second, that's the same guy. It's also like the main like villain of the show. He played basically himself in another version of the in Next Generation. He played another Gaul Next Generation, but they changed it so that he wasn't that same person. And then in the lore canon they said that that guy grew a mustache to kind of like, you know, hide the fact that he wasn't the Gul Dukat that everybody knew, right? So, because apparently there's like genetic duplicates or something. bit my tongue. That's great.
There's
I
so
just
many-
love biting my tongue. That's great.
So many great things about that show, actually. That Cardassian guy who's like works the tailor's shop is actually, you know, and then.
Oh yeah, no, he's great. There's a couple of videos that I routinely watch with him because it's this really cool like mechanic that's in there.
And then the Ferengi stuff was great.
The Ferengi stuff really was pretty darn cool.
Wallace Shawn as the what do they call me? I'm forgetting all my terms, but you know, the head Ferengi guy gets involved with Quark's mom. It just gets hilarious at that point. Also, guy that plays Quark, he was also the very first Ferengi to ever appear in Star Trek, in the Next Generation episode where they first encounter the Ferengi. It's played by the guy that played Quark. That's my door. There we go. Would you leave me alone, buddy? I'm just trying to bless my whip. That's all. Nothing sordid going on here. That's all I want to do. Can you tell I spent way too much time on Star Trek wikis a little while ago? Quark's brother, yeah. They did some cool stuff with him though.
Yeah, Nog passed away too recently. That was so sad.
The guy that plays
I was
Nog,
like,
yeah.
oh man, yeah, the guy who played Nog.
But then the guy
That's so sad. He was a bundle of happy energy. Like he really was. If you ever met him like in real life, he's a bundle of happy energy. So cool.
he was the age he was when he was playing Nog. Like he was way older than the characters than the character he was playing. That's for damn sure. Eesh. Go away with your poison thingies. I do not consent to your balls in my face. It's funny how, like, all I'm trying to do here is get this low-level relic so that I can bless this whip. That's my goal right now. And I'm playing terribly. Something about the mentality I'm approaching this with, maybe? I don't know. Oh, son of a... Like that. How did I... Oh, I hope they give me a healing blessing. See ya, Atomic.
See you, Atomic.
Bashir. Yeah, I hated Bashir the first
The first 2
seasons.
years of him were terrible. After his like past came out, he was a much more interesting character.
The whole thing with him being genetically enhanced, like I liked the characters they created for those episodes where he's dealing with his genetic enhancements. Like the side characters they created were really good. But Bashir, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about him being genetically enhanced. I mean, I think it was an okay concept. I think it just could have been executed better, I guess. Oh boy, this could be dicey. Actually, if I can grab some gold right at the beginning of this, and run back to the shrine. We need to do a Whiplash themed after Star Trek. Yeah. That'd be fun, actually.
Yeah,
A
that would
Nerd
be
Storm.
good.
Of course it would cause
See,
a Nerd Storm, Sword Sister. That's the whole point. I'm so dumb. Let me back. I went to the wrong door. I was supposed to go for the relic, not for this garbage. Ah. Okay, well, let's see how far I can get with my 1 heart of health. This is my problem. This is why I can't stream full time, because I am horrible at multitasking. Always getting distracted, making... That's why, like, yeah. Certain games I wouldn't even try to stream. Really intensive... RPGs, that kind of thing. Require a lot of concentration for that. Oh, this actually might work because I've got my whip that stops the dart shooters from targeting me. So we've come full circle here. This is the first one I used today. I think they will still hurt me if I touch them. So maybe I can get the relic at the end of this. Could you not put those right there? I need to go through there. There we go, okay. Spawn there, good, good. Oh shit! Oh man! You gotta watch that that dodge under the wall I just did on the replay there, Moon. Oh yes, give me blessing. Healing. I need healing. No, that's not what I need. But I've already paid for it, so... Take the double jump. These are all out of sync. How am I supposed to... Ah, mistimed that. Sacrificed. You were shot on floor 2. Alright, we're doing this one more time. And this time I'm not going to be a stupid head. Which whip do I want to... Hold on. Wait, what's this one? See chests through walls, gain 1 heart container. Phantom steel coins. That's an interesting one. I don't... do I really want to do that? I don't want to spend the coins. Alright, let's try this one. Chest sense, heart container, greedy phantoms. I'll bless this whip. Just because I refuse to end on a failure.
It'd be kind of interesting if they had an MMO where there was dungeons that functioned like this.
Yeah.
And they were like really hard mythic dungeon, like mythic, or like hard, like super hard versions of it. Most people don't know what mythic is, but yeah, it's like hard plus. That would be interesting. That'd be really cool. But the other thing that I'm hoping to see too is like I see too many like speed-based challenges, and I hate the speed-based challenges where it's like, oh yeah, just do this fast. It's like that's not actually like good gameplay. Like it's really not. I prefer a challenge, not a just do this however you want.
It's not that it's not good gameplay. Then it's just not your preferred type of.
But yeah, but it's also like there's a lot of people who are in agreement that speed-based challenges are not actually like they don't allow for like it's one type of skill. It's not others.
You need to be good at every aspect of the game. Like, I mean, yeah, it's more action-y, but that's, there are various aspects to it, just like there's various aspects to strategy. I mean, there's a whole, that's the whole premise of speed running, is people take games that aren't even meant for that, and they turn them into speed challenges. It's just to each their own. Yeah. I like the Mercenaries mode in Resident Evil 8 for this reason. That they added, it's a speed and combat challenge. It's like, just kind of, it differs from the feel of the rest of the game. But, yeah, really like that. And then you learn how to do it really well, really optimize it well, and win. Hey, Tank Ferret says, hello, Triple S League and friends. Well, hey, welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, we're close to wrapping up, but I'm going to get one more relic here because I want to... I made a couple of stupid mistakes, and I don't want to end on a loss, so... So this ability to see the chests through walls and floors and things is kind of handy.
Very, very handy. Yeah. Well, in a speed-based thing like that, yeah, that's good.
I just got a thing dropped on my head. Luckily. Luckily, I had lots of health left. This is... I mean, eventually, you start to get a feel for where the chests are, but it's not always there. There is no like. There's randomness to it. That's what I'm saying. How do we get to that one? Oh well, whatever. Like in this room, I love having the chest visibility. This room's a nightmare. All these blades and spikes everywhere. Usually I just power through this. Oh, hi, buddy. You wanna get the hell away from me? Appreciate the getting out of my face at this moment. The getting out of my face. So, Sword Sister's wondering, how come Saib isn't suffering intense motion sickness from this one? I don't think he's watching.
I'm not
too
actually
carefully.
watching.
Yeah.
Like I turn
Just
over
have
and
a
I take
corner of the
a
eye.
swing. I take a peek at it every like minute or two. But yeah, that's not me playing. That's
Yeah,
Ash
this is
playing
me
that.
100%, and I know this one would make Saib sick if he watched it or played it. I did turn up the field of view as high as it would go, but that doesn't necessarily help. These fast first-person ones, yeah, this is not good for him. You know what would be a fun addition to this would be some kind of story mode, like story dungeons. If you could go through and like find really awesome loot or power-ups or anything like that. That you could carry over to the random dungeons. Moon, that's
Smash
looking,
the faces!
that's looking awesome, whatever you're working on.
Thank you. It's Paimon, I finished.
You're done it.
I think I'm finished. Yeah, she got color in this time.
Oh, nice. So we'll be able to
Yeah, post it.
post
I'll
it
post
right
this.
away.
Yeah.
We do post, so Moon's artwork. We post high-quality versions for our patrons, so look for that on Patreon.
And I post the other versions on Insta and whatnot.
All right. There's a whole bunch of chests that I'm missing, but I'm not intending to carry this on to full completion, so whatever, this is fine. Let's heal one time. This should get us that relic. Boom. curious to see how fast this guy gets, because it gets slightly faster. I did it again. Oh, I can't believe how dumb I am. Because I'm constantly worried about... It's like, okay, gotta go to the big door so that I don't get... You know, because... I got so used to taking this path because of all the times that I would take the other path. And, by mistake. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Okay, well... I guess we're ending on me being really dumb. Anyway, here's Moon's artwork that she's been working on. So, yeah. Pretty fun game, Phantom Abyss. I really enjoy it. So, it is in early access right now, so I don't necessarily recommend getting in on it, but if it looks fun to you, maybe keep an eye on it and see where they take it in the near future. So, yeah, because all the times I took the other path. So what would happen is, if you go down the stairs, you continue on to the relic for this stage of the dungeon. Whereas if you go to the big door, you go to the caverns. And so there were a lot of times I was intending to go on to the caverns, but went down the stairs just out of sheer habit, because that's how all of the areas end. And so then I got used to, okay, make sure I go to the big door. And so that's locked into my head now. So when I was actually intending to go down the stairs to get the relic, I went the wrong way. So it's... Yeah. Not my finest hour.
It was still very entertaining to watch, though. You know, just dying
Right.
over and over and over again. It's great stuff. Great stuff there. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that's the goal now, is push through all the way through the Inferno and see what's at the end of that. And I'm curious, because there's 4 levels of keys. And so far, there's like... You're only using the second level of key to get into the Inferno. So there may be even more beyond that. I don't even know. Haven't really looked into it, but yeah, it looks pretty good.
Well, I did think I had a sort of an idea that it would be, that the difficulty wouldn't be as high. So that is interesting.
Yeah, they it really ramps up. It really ramps up as you progress to deeper and deeper.
I don't like that you can only play it once, though. That doesn't seem to make sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
like maybe like once a day, like excuse me, that might be a little bit better. I don't know.
I don't know, man. They I guess they want it to be where you can't sort of memorize the dungeon and just do it that way. They want it to be, you have to react on the fly. You have to kind of do it spontaneously. But again, I mean, adding in a game mode where you can redo the dungeons, I think would be just fine. So, anyway, I guess that's it for this week. Gotta wrap up here. So thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us this morning. Thanks for the great artwork, Moontag. We will post that up, as we said. And yeah, for the great conversation, the nerdy Star Trek talk was a good time. So, the Picard maneuver highlights. Does the game save your progress? Yeah, it saves. Not if you... I don't think it does if you quit in the middle of a dungeon. But it it saves what you've accumulated. It's a roguelite, right? You get one shot, and I guess that's the idea behind it, Sive, is like it's a roguelite. So, procedurally generated, you get one shot at it. You get as far as you can. If you die, you have to start over with a new world. So, but it does have that different aspect where it'll save that dungeon for another person, and then they can watch your phantom fail at it. So, anyway, I find it to be a lot of fun. All right, thanks everybody. Any final words, Moon?
Yeah, I'm gonna go post this up right away.
Yeah, you got through an entire piece
Basically.
with color this time. That's awesome.
Yay!
Progress.
Doing the fast art. So, all right, with that, we'll bid you farewell. Join the Discord server, slam that like button, comment, do all that stuff, and we'll see you on the next show. Talk to you later.